to add up to excitement by bringing you highlights of the Ghana Diaspora Celebration and Third Homecoming Summit. My name is Kofi Opon Ochiri. I'm bringing you this live from the studios of DNT. But briefly, let's go back to the beginning of the Ghana Diaspora Celebration and Homecoming Summit. It started way back in 2001 under the government of the former president, His Excellency John Agyekum Kufuor. And back again in 2017, the second edition was held under the government of His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. And this is indeed the third edition of this very homecoming under the theme. This year's event is under the theme Recognizing Diaspora Contribution to Nation Building. So briefly, let's have something about this very edition of the event. The Ghana Diaspora Celebration and Homecoming Summit 2019 is a 4-day event recognizing and celebrating the immense contributions to nation building by the Ghanaian diaspora. The event will not only highlight past contributions by the Ghanaian diaspora, but will also focus on the present contributions as well, whilst furthering the advocacy for political, economic, and other systems and policies that would facilitate future contributions by the Ghanaian diaspora. And in light of this, the 4th centennial commemoration of the arrival of enslaved Africans in the Western Hemisphere, the event recognizes that the Ghanaian diaspora extends beyond Ghanaian citizens or nationals and their immediate relatives, but also others outside the borders of Ghana, with roots to a strong vested interest in the country. The recognition is based upon the need and desire for a long-term engagement between Ghana and her important stakeholder constituency. It is accompanied by the Ghana government's open arm policy to all people of African descent. So I wish to applaud the Ghana government for this very great opportunity for all Africans across the region. So today's event started at the Accra International Conference Center, where hundreds to thousands of people from around the world, Ghanaian diaspora, from USA, from UK, from Nigeria, from Kenya, all over the world. And also we had investors coming from Turkey and other countries coming, attending this very event for this year 2019. So the event started with cultural dances and drums outside the auditorium at the Accra International Conference Center. Let's have something on that. So from the welcoming session outside the auditorium, we now entered the auditorium. DNT were live at the event and then we covered everything. So the event started with solidarity messages from Ghanaians from abroad who are here in the country for the event. So people from Nigeria, people from USA, and all over the world give their solidarity message. Let's have bite of these messages that the Ghanaians living in the diaspora shared with the people at the event.
Ghana is the first country that had the first minister of diaspora affairs, which was Jacob Abacha-Lanty. There's so many firsts for Ghana. You know, don't get confused by this accent. I am proudly Ghanaian.
The African American Association of Ghana, or AAAG, as we are more commonly called, is a non-governmental organization incorporated in 1991. Although that is the official date of the founding of the organization, the history of our group starts in the early to mid-1960s, more than 50 years ago when some of our founding members first came to Ghana. Some people came on their own, others came following their guardians' class. Gradually, these individuals found each other and began meeting.
From the significant reduction in court duties support for ROPA, the number of diaspora appointees in government, among many other steps taken. We have never seen a bigger ally as this president and this government. Our visionary president, His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo, has shown himself and his administrations as clear friends.
Then, after a series of solidarity messages to appreciate how far Ghana has come as a country, and also to challenge government to do more for the Ghanaian diaspora and also Ghanaians at home, we received the President of the Republic, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, and it was indeed a warm welcoming ceremony held to receive the President. Let's have a look at that. And let's also not forget that we had people, high commissioners and ambassadors from different countries attending this very event. So after the President, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, resumed his seat, then we had a speech coming from the Minister for Information, the person of Honorable Kojo Opon Nkrumah, who said that the MPP government looks more of interested in the diaspora. Let's have the speech by the Information Minister.
It is a third following the first of 2001 and the second of 2017, both of which took place under the leadership of presidents in the New Patriotic Party administration. The reason is that the MPP administration believes that in the diaspora there is a huge and a deep reservoir of persons, resources that can complement the very bold efforts that are ongoing back home to put our nation on a path to prosperity. Already, the previous summits have yielded some benefits as more and more Ghanaians continue to return home, reinvest in the Ghanaian economy, to take advantage of economic opportunities, and to take up jobs. Relationships between the motherland and Ghanaians in the diaspora have also been improving, and feedback that you've always given us at these summits are being put to good use, including your recommendation on the tenor of passports, port duties, etc. During the roadshows, ministers and heads of institutions who joined you asked you to come to explore and to benefit. And today we are happy that you have come. You will be exploring the very many opportunities, and hopefully you'll be benefiting from them as well. The government of Ghana, under the leadership of President Akufo-Addo, has been on an ambitious effort to restore macroeconomic stability, to bring back growth, and to invest heavily in creating a society of opportunities for many of our people. Agric is back on a rebound, industry is soaring higher, and the services sector is also growing. These provide opportunities for many Ghanaians and foreign nationals, and we want to in particular encourage Ghanaians in the diaspora to take advantage of the opportunities in these areas. As government invests heavily in these areas, opportunities are created, and it's a good time for you to latch onto those opportunities. While there are a lot of opportunities, there are also a lot of problems here in the homeland. Again, problems offer an avenue for persons like yourself who've experienced other ways in which solutions have been delivered to formulate some of these solutions and to earn some good incomes on them. And so we ask you to not only take advantage of the opportunities, but also take advantage of the challenges around us and help us develop solutions that you can also take advantage of. There are persons among you who do similar tasks in various parts of the world. You have an opportunity to leverage on your own relationships. As the Fanti say, and as you build your own networks, you can build the synergies therein and deliver more for our people.
Away from the insightful speech by the Minister for Information, Kojo Oppong Nkrumah, of which I loved most because I attended the event. Then we had Honorable Barbara Otin Jesse, the Minister for Tourism, Arts and Culture, also come to unveil the Year of Return cloth and make a presentation to the President, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, after he delivered a brief speech. Let's have that.
The Year of Return commemorates 400 years since the first enslaved Africans arrived in the United States and celebrates the resilience of the African spirit. The Year of Return, being spearheaded by the Ghana Tourism Authority, is a concerted public-private effort with stakeholders like the Diaspora Affairs Office at the Presidency, the Manifest Foundation, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and the Edenkra Group, all playing key roles on the steering committee. The Tourism Authority has also set up a secretariat to coordinate all the activities. Since its launch, the Year of Return has endorsed over 78 events for a year-long celebration and commemoration. The Ghana Diaspora Celebration and Homecoming Summit, one of the pillar activities of the Year of Return, comes at a time when the potential landscape of opportunities in Ghana is growing. Through initiatives like the One District, One Factory, Planting for Food and Jobs, Rearing for Food and Jobs, Planting for Exports and Rural Development, government has called on our diaspora brothers and sisters to look at Ghana as an investment option.
Thank you now to the President of the Republic. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause. And with 300 cheers, we say, hey, Bill. Hey, Bill. Hey, Bill. All right.
Speech after speech, but let me also state that the event was very much colorful with African-made product, beads, clothes, African wear, and what have you, and Ghanaian companies in representation. They had stands, and it was very much colorful, receiving people, and security was also a very great concern of the Ghanaians. And this year, trust me, the security at the event center was great, was super, because you see the military men, you see the policemen all around. It was very much, we applaud the Ghanaian security for what they did today at the third Ghana Diaspora Celebration and Homecoming Summit. The registration at the registration desk was very much great because it was a digitized registration that was used this very year. Now, let's come to another speech again, and this speech was by Akwesi Ewua Abebio, the chairman of the organizing committee, and also the director of the Diaspora Affairs Office of the Presidency, who officially welcomed all to the event.
It is my honor and a privilege as the director of the Diaspora Affairs Office of the President to welcome you on behalf of the Planning Committee of the Ghana Diaspora Celebration and Homecoming Summit. In the light of the ongoing 4th centenary commemoration of the arrival of descendants of enslaved Africans in the Western Hemisphere, it also falls on me, as chairman of the Year of Return Committee, to extend a heartfelt welcome to our historical, unique African family from the Americas and the Caribbean. The Ghanaian diaspora extends beyond Ghanaian citizens and their immediate relatives. and necessary includes many roots to or strong vested interest in the country. In this regard, His Excellency Nana Addo Akufo-Addo recently appealed to the historical African community to come home for the year of return festivities, which spans over the whole year of 2019, as a step in exploring the rich Ghanaian heritage and the economic opportunities it offers. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2019 Diaspora Celebration and Homecoming Service builds on the previous ones, especially the 2017 event, following the maiden one held in 2001 under the leadership of His Excellency John A. Kufuor. Fulfilling his commitment to involve Ghanaians living abroad in Ghana's development process, His Excellency Nana Addo Akufo-Addo established the Diaspora Affairs Office. The Homecoming Summit is instituted as a binary event to rally Ghanaians living abroad to dialogue, network, and explore economic and investment opportunities in Ghana in furtherance of the President's agenda of Ghana Beyond Aid.
Yeah, I want to say that Ghana, indeed, Yewadioye, because if you look at the people that came from around the world who are Ghanaians and what they are doing, how impactful their lives have been in other countries, and their readiness to come home with all the skills acquired, and then their resources to invest back into the country so that the country Ghana could see greater development, greater growth. That is the thing that all of us as a country, we have been looking forward to see. So these people are back, and we want to say that all Ghanaians should be ready to give them an open arm, do business with them, so that as we are calling those outside the country to come home, they are going to know that, yes, they have people at home that they could trust them. Yes, away from all these things, the president of the land, His Excellency Nana Addo Akufo-Addo, finally gave his keynote address at the event.
I'm grateful to the Office of Diaspora Affairs and the Presidency for the invitation to be part of the second edition of the Ghana Diaspora Homecoming Summit, and for the opportunity to deliver these brief remarks. Director Appreciate Review and members of the Office and Planning Committee, I say I echo to all of you on a job well done. Akwaba goes also to all and sundry, especially to our overseas Ghanaian sisters and brethren. 2 years ago at the maiden Diaspora Summit, I indicated that accountability by my government will be extended to diasporans, to Ghanaians living in the diaspora. And I believe to a very large extent, I've lived up to this pledge. In my visits to countries outside our shores, I've engaged members of the Ghanaian community, not only to tell them about the progress being made in our country, but also to listen to their concerns. When I was informed that remittances from Ghanaians in the diaspora has increased by nearly 50%, from 2.2 billion United States dollars in 2017 to 3 billion United States dollars in 2018. It reinforced my decision to continue to engage with this important constituency that continues to support the growth and progress of our economy. In addition to reiterating my commitment to engaging with the Ghanaian diaspora, I painted to you a picture of the economy bequeathed to my government by the predecessor Mahama administration, and the steps we wanted to take to put our nation back on the right path. As I'm sure you will remember, we inherited an economy confronted with significant challenges, with all the macroeconomic fundamentals pointing in the wrong direction under the emergency management of the International Monetary Fund. The growth rate of 3.6% the lowest in over 2 decades, a fiscal deficit of 9.3%, a $2.5 billion United States debt overhang, approximately 10 billion cedis at the time, in the energy sector, erratic power supply, which came to be known as DOSO, 1.2 billion arrears on the National Health Insurance Scheme, declining agricultural and industrial growth rates, a dangerously fragile banking sector with weakly capitalized banks, poor governance practices, and non-existent central bank supervision, widespread corruption, and widespread unemployment among others. We had our work cut out for us. By dint of hard work and prudent management of our resources, we made modest advances, and I'm happy to report that we've been able to steer our country out of the stormy waters that had characterized the years before 2017. We've cleared all NHIS arrears, and payments to service providers are now current, and we've paid nearly 50% of the inherited energy debt. Bold measures have been taken to sanitize the banking system and strengthen it with deposits of 1.5 million Ghanaians safeguarded. We're by no means out of the woods yet, but we have made significant progress, with macroeconomic fundamentals now pointing in the right direction. And in the process, we concluded our exit from the IMF program on a high note. We're determined to maintain discipline in the management of our economy so that we never have to resort to an IMF bailout again.
That I think you loved most because the president reviewed some of the achievement of his government since he resumed office in 2017. Some of the things that the projects that he outlined and then how far he has come with those projects are working towards the achievement of it all, the sustainable development goals and everything, that the various sectors, how the growth has been over the years, the various things that needs to be done in the country and how successful his government has been able to achieve some of these things and the way forward with the country's developmental agenda. We were done with the president, and then we had a deputy minister for foreign affairs in the person of Honorable Habibu Muhammad Tijani also come to deliver a speech.
It is refreshing to note that the role of the diaspora towards national development forms one of the salient pillars of Ghana's development agenda. Ghana's developmental goals lays emphasis on calling the diaspora home to engage in and collaborate with the government towards socio-economic development. Put in other words, it is one of the main goals of the government of Ghana to create avenues to connect to their roots people of African descent who are living outside the continent. It is upon this that the President of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo, in December 2018, launched the Year of Return Ghana 2019. This is to commemorate the 400th year of return since the arrival of first slave ships from Africa on the shores of USA, and to encourage African Americans and the people of African descent to return to their homeland and contribute to the development of the continent. Therefore, the Year of Return Ghana 2019 constitutes a year-long program to reconnect with their homeland, our compatriots in the diaspora.
So after the president's speech, where he highlighted the achievement of his government over the years since he resumed office in 2017, and how far he has come with the projects that he promised the Ghanaian people that he was going to be embarking on, highlighting free SHS, one district, one factory, one constituency, $1 million, the dams, and what have you. He also informed us about the progress, the way forward with things that he seeks to achieve in the future so far as he's President of the Republic of Ghana. Then after his wonderful speech delivered to the audience at the third Ghana Diaspora Celebration and Homecoming Summit at the Accra International Conference Center. He headed to the forecourt where Ghanaian-made products and African-made products were being exhibited. Ghanaian institutions, the banks, the Agricultural Development Bank, the GIPC, and other institutions were exhibiting their wonderful product to the audience at the event. So the president made his way there to see all that were displayed at the forecourt of the Accra International Conference Center. DNT was there to cover the president's visit to the various stands. Then we granted interviews with people who attended this very event. We spoke to a committee member from UK who helped in organizing the whole Ghanaians in the United Kingdom to attend this very event, who highlighted some of the expectations attending this event. The director of Diaspora Affairs Office of the Presidency, Akwesi Ewua Abebi, also spoke to DNT News. We have the tourism ambassador, Ian, also speaking to DNT News, and a couple of attendees who showed their love for this country, and one man who brought a number of investors from Turkey also explained why they are here, the expectations, and what they seek to contribute to the growth of the country, as well as these investors sharing their views with DNT News.
Is for the people in the diaspora to come home, network among themselves, make sure that they can also get the opportunity to talk to government representatives and private sectors to see what they can come together in the future to do. But the key feature of this conference is the fact that we have available a policy document which will also be discussed, which will be shared with those participants to give their input into the final document that we would be proposing to cabinet to enable us to have a framework, to enable us to have a coherent approach as to how the diaspora is engaged and utilized going forward long term.
We're expecting to come and take part in the country's development agenda in terms of investment, in terms of charities, in terms of health, in terms of everything else that the government is doing. So ours is to facilitate the coming home of Ghanaians to come and help in that development agenda. The people who are coming from the UK are coming from various backgrounds. We have people who are investors, we have others who are founders of charities, and people from various backgrounds. So yes, they are looking at partnering Ghanaians and the government in investments and in other areas that their services will be needed.
Well, I've been outside for the past 7 years now. I feel really positive and so excited to be back to my country and to see the massive physical developments that have taken place over the years. It's really inspiring, motivating. And I want to seize that opportunity to call on all others who are outside to come home and see what is really in place.
Okay, my name is Ian Wadi. I'm the tourism ambassador for Ghana. I keep saying tourism is a very fundamental key for growth in any economy. So I'm happy Ghana is shedding a lot of light in tourism, because from like in the past year, there's been a lot of attention driven towards tourism in Ghana. So I'm glad a lot of people are paying attention to tourism in Ghana now, because it's a step in the right direction.
So it has been quite an insightful day for all of us as Ghanaians as we receive our dear ones who have been overseas for a number of decades. Some of them have been there for years that we cannot even count, we cannot give numbers to. And they are home today, ready to invest into their country, ready to share their skills with all of us so that together we can develop Ghana and grow Ghana, our beloved country. We entreat all of you Ghanaian citizens to offer them open arms, do business with them. This is Diaspora Network Television, and we promise to bring you highlights of the 3rd Ghana Diaspora Celebration and Homecoming Summit from now till the end of the event. It's a 4-day event, so we promise to do our best to bring you highlights of this very event, as we did for the Offshore Technology Conference, which happened in Houston early this year. My name is Kofi Opon Ochre, and in the studios, I want to say thank you to my producer, Sami Asari. I want to say thank you to Philip. I want to say thank you to my cameraman, Fred, and everybody, the executive producer, Mr. Jermaine Nkrumah. A very big thank you to you. A very big thank you to the news team who supported this event and put together all the document, all the items, so that we can present to you this evening this wonderful highlight on the 3rd Ghana Diaspora Homecoming and Celebration and Homecoming Summit. And to the editor, Ike, a very big thank you to you. It's a good evening, and we say long live Ghana, long live Africa, long live DNT, long live you, our cherished viewer. DNT, it is all possible. Have a good evening.